Hello children, how are you? Today I am just going to summarize the chapter by the discussion of the difference between the ionic as well as the covalent compounds, right? So the first and the very basic difference between both type of compounds are that ionic compound, they are hard crystalline solids due to the presence of strong electrostatic force of attraction. You know that the ionic compound like NaCl, like calcium chloride, in their crystalline state, the basic unit is ion. Na positive and Cl negative. Because the presence of this opposite charges, there is strong electrostatic force. That is why they are hard crystalline solid. Whereas the covalent compounds, right? They are the soft solid or the liquid or gases. Why? Due to the presence of weak van der Waals forces. Covalent compound, the constituting unit is the molecule, right? There is no charge separation. So what is there? The bond is not that strong, and due to which they are found in the form of either soft solid or the liquid or the gases. Fine. For example, you can think of phosphorus or sulfur. Sulfur is found in so many allotropic forms, right? Okay. The second point is that ionic compounds are highly soluble in water due to the presence of charges present on the molecule. Ionic compound like sodium chloride, calcium chloride, and all the ionic compounds, they are highly soluble in water because you know that on the ionic compound, there are the presence of ions, and water is itself a polar molecule, right? So ionic compounds, they are highly soluble in water, right? On the other hand, the covalent compounds, they are insoluble in water. Why? Because water is a polar in nature and the covalent compounds are non-polar in nature. Alcohol is partially soluble. Alcohol is soluble, some of the alcohols, due to the another kind of bonding. But normally the organic compound like your turpentine oil, kerosene oil, diesel, petrol, carbon tetrachloride, they all are insoluble in water because on these molecules there is no what? Charge separation. No charges are there. They are neutral molecules. So they are insoluble in water. On the other hand, the ionic compound, they are insoluble in covalent solvents. Like if you take sodium chloride and if you want to dissolve in where? In kerosene. So what will happen? It will not be soluble. Why? Because the ionic compounds, they are ionic in nature, whereas the covalent compounds are they are non-polar solvents. So there is no charge separation in the solvent, but on the solute the charge separation is there, means positively charged sodium ion, negatively charged chloride ion. So they are insoluble in where? In the covalent solvents. Come on the other side, the covalent compounds, they are soluble in non-polar solvents, organic solvents, right? So just you must have seen your surrounding. When any painter or you yourself paint anything with any kind of acrylic paints like Nerolac or any other paint, and painter comes and paint your wooden furniture, then where do they clean their hand? In the brush? In the where? Turpentine oil, because that is a solvent, organic solvent, and paint itself is an organic compound, right? So in the covalent compound, they are soluble in the organic solvent because the similar thing dissolves in similar things. Okay, alright. Now the next is ionic compounds. They are very good conductor of electricity, and because the reason is they dissociate into ions when dissolved in water. If I take sodium chloride, if I dissolve in water, if I take calcium chloride, dissolve in water, what will happen? They will break up into the ions. Sodium ion, chloride ion. Potassium ion, chloride ion. Fine. So in that case, what will happen? These ions will help in conducting the electricity. Okay. So that is the reason that the ionic compounds, they are good conductor of electricity in aqueous state or in molten state. Point to be noted. Not as a solid. You take a solid packet of sodium chloride, means common salt, suppose you put the electrode, you will not get any electricity from that. Why? Because there is no ions available. But if you dissolve that in water, right, or if you are able to melt them, then what is there? They will be a very good conductor of electricity. So it is only possible when your compound is ionic compound. On the other hand, if it is a covalent compound, then what will happen? They will be a non-conductor of electricity. The reason is that when the covalent compounds, they are non-polar compounds, so they are insoluble in water, and when there will be no ions available in the water, it will not conduct electricity. Alright, so that is the reason that all the organic compounds, they are not non-conductor of electricity. Here I want to tell you one thing, children. In some of the places you will find that what is mentioned, they are a poor conductor of electricity. But I tell you, in the council, they never accept the word poor. They say either the conductor or non-conductor. So never use the word poor conductor. Okay? From the council point of view, if you want to get marks, never write what? The poor conductor. It is conductor or non-conductor. Another thing, that ionic compounds, what? They are hard solids, so they are non-volatile in nature. You will never find sodium chloride or potassium or calcium chloride changing into vapor state. What is volatile? If any solid on heating changes into vapor state, then this is called as what? Volatile nature. So these compounds, ionic compounds, they are hard solids. They are held together by strong electrostatic force of attraction. So they are non-volatile. But on the other hand, the covalent compounds, they are volatile in nature. You can take example, for instance, camphor, organic compound, volatile in nature, which changes into vapor state. Naphthalene balls, what? They are organic compounds. They volatile in nature, changes into vapor state. Odonil, right? So all these compounds are organic compounds, they change into vapor state. So these are some examples of what? The ionic and the covalent compounds. And children, one thing, if you are asked to write such kind of question that why carbon tetrachloride is insoluble in water but soluble in, suppose, alcohol. So in that condition you have to write both the things. Reason why it is insoluble in water and the reason why it is soluble in where? In alcohol. Okay. If you write only one reason, then out of 2 you will get only 1 mark. Okay. These are the small little tips which you have to note down. So okay children, thank you, and I will send the link for some question worksheet. Thank you children.